Hey folks, it's us, podcasting wonderkins John Bishop and Lucas Southworth.
Although this is a podcast about cars, it is not age appropriate for the target demographic of these films, as we usually end up talking about the reproductive organs of Lightning McQueen.
Alright, now let's take a look under the hood. Three, two, one. Happy new car, everybody!
Woo.
Yeah, that was it. That was the idea I told you about, John, for the intro. That seemed like, I don't know, the thing to do for this episode.
Is better than mine.
I'm gonna say, give me a second. You're going to sing Old Lang Syne, but desperately try to replace the lyrics with Cars-themed things without having prepared that beforehand.
Nope.
Okay.
I was going to grab one of the various balls that Bella has in our house, and I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing live. We're watching the ball drop. I don't know if Lucas has a good viewing of it, but it's about to happen. And then I was going to count down, and then I was going to just drop a ball.
Oh, well, a very visual joke for our podcast, so I would have to agree that, yeah, mine was maybe a little better, if not very simple. Anyway, this is the Ka-Chat. It's the only podcast brave enough to ask a question. Hey, what's up with cars? I'm Lucas Southworth.
And I'm John Bishop. And Lucas, the joke would be that, like, it would be very audibly, you could tell that it wasn't that ball.
Yeah.
It was just going to be like a, except, you know, what if it was like a ball of spaghetti?
Now, okay, you've raised, I'll call it an interesting question, sure.
Not a meatball. A ball of spaghetti.
I wasn't thinking a meatball because you were very specific with your language about it being a ball of spaghetti. We've already gotten off track.
All right, so what are we talking about this year? We're talking about spaghetti. We're talking about spherical food items. We're talking about those two things compound.
Yeah, you got it, folks. This is our ball of spaghetti episode.
The secret is you put in some egg and it helps glue it together.
That sounds, yeah, like it would do that.
That's the secret to making spaghetti donuts.
What's happening? Anyway, this week we're just going to sort of talk about, I don't know, stuff with the new year as a vague theme.
All right. So the new year with cars as a theme. Are we going simple? Are we going ridiculous? Are we going somewhere in between?
I think we're doing just about all of it, you know?
All right.
I think we're going to go simple vis-a-vis, what do the cars do for New Year's? I think we're going to go medium, just with like, hey, let's make some new cars revolutions, is I think what you called them.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Both for ourselves, for the show, I don't know, maybe for the characters, but that sounds like it might be hard, so maybe not that. And we're gonna go big just because we always do, baby. We bring the heat.
All right. As my co-host just said, we're bringing the heat, so we're gonna start today off by being really chill until the explosion at the end.
Sure, why not? Yeah, man. You know, just start off, just go in the order I laid out just now and start with how they celebrate the new year.
All right. And that brings me to a question from Liz.
Phenomenal.
All right. Everyone knows that in celebrating in America, everything is really just one big advertisement.
Yes.
In America, when we dropped that big old juicy disco ball from the sky that summons the archangel to turn the world around in a way that will like flapjack us, because we all know that we're an ovular disc.
Yeah.
So when that happens, we noticed that the archangel just behind him was an advertisement for Kia.
Sure. Yeah.
What would that be in their world?
Okay. So it's a car advertisement right behind the ball in Times Square in our world. What would it be in theirs? Huh.
Would it just be an advertisement for a person named Kia?
Or a type of persons named Kia? I don't
That
like that
sounds
one very much.
offensive.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that one
mean,
very
wait,
much.
not like that. Maybe it's a job.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
it's a type, like maybe it's a three cheers for first responders. The
Yeah.
Kias.
Yeah, something that's much better than whatever I was gonna go with that. So yeah, that's an option. We could go. I mean, no, that's gonna get very eugenicsy, so I'm not gonna go there. Uh,
Maybe only one type of car can have that job.
no, I was gonna say maybe parents can like choose a brand to make their baby.
Well, building, it's the best part.
Yeah, that's a joke from what, Robots?
Yep.
I have not seen that movie, but I know that joke and about nothing else about that movie.
Yep.
Anyway, it could also be like if we go in universe brands, probably like I don't know, Dynaco or something.
Some good old light years, but at the same time, like, there's
Yeah.
gotta be, I don't know, what's the big thing there? What's their, like, you buy a house, you buy a car. Okay,
Okay.
they can
Yeah.
buy a house, they can't buy a car. What replaces that purchase, that status symbol?
All right. I mean, it could be just like upgrades to themselves. So maybe like a new engine or something.
Okay, that is troubling, but
One hundred
okay.
percent. Yeah. No, it's a podcast where we talk about troubling cars things. So
Uh, but the status symbol you're suggesting is specifically a thing that we know in this universe is extremely limited and results in death. And people can just, like, what you've just proposed is, what if people in their universe just buy new hearts?
yes.
You're suggesting that, like, there's a black market advertisement in Times Square.
Not black market. It's free. It's a part of free market capitalism, baby. It's there. You want a new heart, new engine? Sure.
You want a new, very limited time edition heart? Just stock up on them. Get 5 hearts so that you'll never die, but everyone else will.
I mean, yeah. Like in planes when Dusty was having issues with his engine, Dot was able to like, hey, I'm going to call and see if I can't find one. So there is a market out there that exists for this.
But that implies like a donor list or something, rather than, oh, I'm just a wealthy person who has purchased some of the few available hearts.
Well, I do gotta imagine that does happen, but it probably would be on the black market.
Yep.
But no, I think the way they structured Dot as a mechanic, she was like trying to buy a part.
An
I don't
essential
think.
to life part?
Yeah, I think it's messed up. That's why I want to talk about it.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm not
Um,
disagreeing that it's like grotesque.
and a grim mask of capitalism.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying you're saying it can't happen because it's grotesque. I'm saying it is happening and it's grotesque.
Okay, okay. Doesn't bring me to, but I'm going to switch over to our fun fact of the day.
Sure, man.
If you want a free papercraft model of Guido, you can go to papercraftsquare.com/tag/Guido.
Hey man, that rules. Fantastic.
That's your fun fact of the day.
Speaking of, why don't we, I don't know, pepper in these new car revolutions just as we go?
All right, for us or for them?
For us.
All
Or,
right.
well, either, This one's for us, specifically.
This one's for the girls.
Okay. Uh, this one, I was thinking, you know, we were talking and we're not sure that we've ever watched Spinning before, which is a Cars tune, much like Radiator Springs 500 and a half or any of Mater's Tall Tales. We're pretty sure it's pretty boring.
Now,
But
Lucas, I'm pretty sure I've seen things spin before,
okay, I should give
especially
more
in cars,
context.
like tires.
That's on me. Spinning is, as far as I know, just a short in which Guido spins a sign for a while. I could be wrong about that, but
Okay. But,
I
like, is he good at it?
I imagine he probably is. And it's so easy to make new cars revolutions that you never follow through on. So I say at least for this one, cross one right off the list. Why don't we just go watch Spinning real quick and come back and talk about it? I
All right. Where can I find that?
think it's on YouTube. I'll send you a link. Okay, yeah.
I can't believe there was that much nudity.
Now, John, they're always nude. They're cars.
I know, but like this is a kids film.
Yeah, we watched it. It was pretty much like I said. He spins the sign and he's good at it for a couple minutes, but there's maybe a couple things in there we could talk about.
Like how there's just a known drug dealer and criminal that just is cheering along with everyone.
Yeah, that's something I was hoping we would bring up. DJ from the Delinquent Road Hazards is just there, an accepted part of Radiator Springs at this point, I guess.
And also provides, of course, the DJing.
Yeah, I'll give you a rundown of it. Break it down. Guido is just holding a sign, and Luigi comes and says, "Hey, move the sign around so people won't come in." So he does, and he starts spinning it, and Lightning's like, "Hey, you're good at this," and he does a very good job. And Ramon is like, "Put on some music, DJ." So he does, and he's very good at it. And everyone's like, "Good job, Guido." And he like rests for a bit, and Luigi comes back out and is like, "Why aren't you moving the sign?" So he does it. He moves it, and that's the whole short.
It's it's really exemplary of how work works.
No, I mean,
You can do your best job and no one will notice, or you could do nothing and everyone will notice. Sometimes it's the exact opposite, and people are just really good at knowing when their boss is going to be around. But like, it's real sad.
no, yeah, like honestly, I've been there, Guido. But but yeah, DJ was there. I hope that means maybe he's a sort of reformed member of society,
Or
or
maybe it's before.
okay, well, Lightning was there.
Maybe it's before he got arrested. Actually, because in the film Cars,
Yeah,
there's a period of time in between when the delinquent road hazards commit their most heinous of acts of trying to murder someone
yeah,
and then actually are like chased down by sheriff.
yeah. It's a post credit scene when they get chased down. So you're saying somewhere in between the end of the theatrical movie Cars and the post credit or the during credits scene, DJ is just hanging out.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Which explains why he's just still there.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Do we want to talk about how incredibly dexterous Guido is?
I mean, if you check cars.disney.com/Guido, you'll see that of his statistics, his speed is max. There's
Hmm,
just a speedometer with absolutely no markings or indications of anything, except
sure.
if you follow the normal rules of a speedometer, it's like right at the top of it. It's so he's the fastest. He's one of the fastest, if not the fastest character in all of Cars.
Well, I mean, he does do the impressive pit stop in Cars, the first
He
Cars.
does do pit stop,
Yeah,
the only English word he speaks,
yeah.
or words.
It is important to note real quick that at the end of his sign spinning, he just says pit stop
Yep.
to sort of punctuate it, which I don't know. Have him say something else. Something in Italian would have been fine there.
Yeah, there are a lot of characters who do not have noses. I would
Uh huh.
argue most, if not all.
Yeah,
But for some reason, looking at a still of Guido without a nose really is upsetting because his face is very flat,
it is. Yeah,
and it just feels like there should be something there, and there's nothing there.
yeah. In that he doesn't have like the protruding hood part where
Hmm.
an engine normally would be. I can see that.
All right. So, pit stop. He does some spinning. New Cars Resolution
Complete.
complete. We've done one. That's a
Yeah.
good sign for the rest of the year. Now let's set a few more very reasonable ones.
Okay.
Uh,
You got
we
one.
are going to star in the new series, uh,
Okay.
uh, Cars: The Road Trip, the series.
Yes, the Untitled Cars project, if you will. Yeah, sure. Why not? I will say, if we can't get into that, there is also a separate piece of Cars media that has gotten a little less attention from us and from, I would say, just the general public. That is also coming out on Disney Plus. They are doing a series of shorts called Pixar Popcorn. in which, I don't know, they just do some shorts about the movies they've made. And they have released the titles of them, and I'm so happy to go to the New Year's wiki quote of the new year of the week.
Give me that new year
Will do, bud. This time we're going over to worldofcarsdriving.fandom.com/wiki/dancing with the cars.
of the day.
Yeah, the short is going to be called Dancing with the Cars. That's quite literally all we know about it right now. I will say the wiki entry on World of Cars is just patently false in that it says Dancing with the Cars is an upcoming series with a release window of 2021 on Disney Plus. The plot it will deal with is not yet known. Most of that is correct, but it is certainly not a series. As far as I could tell, it is a single short in a collection of shorts that will be coming out.
Now, Lucas,
Yeah.
what if this is the series?
Now, John, I have to be absolutely clear. I want this to be a series. I want it. I'm not going to say more than anything, but more than a lot of things, I want this to be a full series.
But think about it this way: someone, maybe Lightning McQueen's gonna be on it. They gotta find a way to get to the filming location, so they take a road trip.
Yeah, okay. And I could see them maybe just integrating whatever happens in this short into the series. Yeah, like you were saying. Since we didn't do this in our episode where we talked about Disney Plus series, we can do it now. You want to speculate on the events of Dancing with the Cars?
I think someone's just like, "Hey, Lightning, do you want to be on Dancing with the Cars?" And he's like, "No." And then Mater's like, "Yeah, you do." And then they're in Dancing with the Cars, and for some reason, Mater's also in Dancing with the Cars.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly my thought. It's gonna be Dancing with the Stars, but Cars themed. Uh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
sort of the long and short of it. I'm Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm very excited to see what they classify as the Cars dancing, but like without seeing that, I don't know how much we can speculate. I guess how do the cars dance? How do they dance, Johnny?
A lot of them are going to be forklifts, and they're going to just like use their hands in funny ways.
I gotta imagine that.
The stage is massive.
Yeah, well, one, yes. Two, I gotta imagine they somehow do some wheelies of some sort, maybe like spin around like that. But other than that, I'm just very, like I said, I'm very excited to see what the talented people at Pixar Studios come up with about these cars dancing with each other. Also, just I hope they take it as an opportunity to do more things like Boat Reynolds from Planes, Fire, and Rescue and just make really weird celebrity puns.
So you're not hoping to see like Boat Reynolds and Jay Limo. You're just hoping to see characters who are similarly named.
I would be very excited to see a recurrence of Boat Reynolds and Jay Limo, but I also want more of them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I was bringing this up to say maybe we could be in Dancing with the Cars.
All right. So for our New Year's New Cars Revolutions, we're going to
Thank you.
be in Dancing with the Cars, and we're going to be the leads in
Bold.
Cars the Road Trip the series.
Sure. Why not? There's your breaking news. That's spelled like a car break. We're gonna be in them. Also, Dancing with the Cars exists. That one's probably the breaking news. It's not breaking. We've known about it for a couple weeks. Listen, let's move on. We've done some Cars Revolutions. We'll come back to those. I think. How about we get back? How do these crazy sons of guns celebrate? They pop in bottles, Johnny.
Yes, but
Okay.
slightly off screen, so we don't get to see how it happens.
Yeah. But
Except for
okay.
the forklifts, because they do everything.
Yeah, they could just have a forklift do it. But is it, bubbly?
Is it bubbly? Yes, very bubbly. And there's going to be one car or some sort of creature just muttering and mumbling about how bubbly it is and saying bubbles.
Sure. I don't know why you've decided that,
I
but
think
I
a
dig it.
character in Finding Nemo.
Oh yeah, he likes the bubbles in the aquarium.
Yes.
I don't know how I was supposed to get there on my end, but I see the connection you made. Uh, but what I meant is it champagne?
It is certainly not explicitly stated.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. If they ever did a New Year scene, we wouldn't know. It would just be a nondescript bottle of something.
Motor oil. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. We've seen them celebrate with champagne.
Yes, we have. No, my
We've seen
God, you're
that
right.
happen many times.
Yeah, when they win the races, that happens. There's a joke. No, that was confetti. But no, they have done that. Haven't they? Oh my God.
What if they haven't and we just. Alright,
I'm.
champagne, cars,
You're not gonna find anything.
Disney, Pixar, the film.
I respect your effort. I know there's a joke when Chick Hicks wins in the first one where he's like, "Where's the confetti?" and it just like hits him real
Shoots him
hard.
in the face.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that was the champagne cork, but no, it's the confetti. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find much canon, bud. I think we may just have to decide for ourselves here.
What does his name get changed into? In his weird delusion where he is winning.
Lightning Storm, the Dinoco dream sequence. I'm watching it now. He's taking pictures with the piston cup. Me and Tia are blue. Lightning McQueen is Lightning Storm. We gotta talk about Lightning Storm, the movie, at some point.
Lightning Storm the movie, and also how it is just a clear, oh, someone's going to come along and be a better Lightning, and it's going to be someone named Storm.
Yeah, yeah. There's a new Cars Revolution for you. We're gonna do an episode on Lightning Storm, the movie from his Dinoco dream sequence, because it's pretty wild. Having just watched it, yeah, there was no champagne in that.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. So again, I think we just gotta decide for ourselves: do they got champagne or do they got champagne, Johnny?
They got champagne, but I don't know if they're
Yeah,
going to say it's champagne, but at the same time,
it's
I
champagne.
feel like they've shown champagne.
Yeah, I've got that same thing eating at the back of my brain of like I feel like there's a scene in which there is champagne to celebrate a victory or something.
And I
But I
can't just watch these movies again to see it.
not just to do that at the very least. But yeah, if you're listening and you're like, "Oh, you idiots, I know exactly this scene." Send it to us. We'd love that. But yeah, they got champagne, they drink it, they get drunk, and that's bad, but we've talked about that.
All right, so they get drunk. What happens after that? Do they promise that they're going to change everything about themselves? Because the new year.
I imagine they do a little bit about that. They very heavily symbolize the turning of the new year like we do and say, "Hey, it's going to be different." And for some of them, hopefully it is.
So I feel like a big thing in their world's gonna have to be like astrology.
Like zodiacs?
Yeah, because like
Okay.
if you think about it,
I would
the
love to.
further they get into the future, the more they're gonna associate. Oh, well, the Earth isn't flat and all that jazz. So what is it? Oh, it's a system of things that are rotating, like wheels, like we
Okay.
have. So they're gonna get like really into connecting rotation and like the night day night cycle and all that, and the full year rotation. They're gonna make it a lot more spiritually connected to themselves.
Mhm.
So I gotta just think that that's gonna be a real big deal for them.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I was hoping to find out Lightning McQueen's birthday,
We've
but I did
found
not.
a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but
I
since he
found
is based on some dude, maybe.
Yeah, I was hoping to say his astrological sign, but I don't know it. Quite frankly, I don't know it. I'm gonna say he's a Scorpio for no reason.
I'm gonna say he's a Taurus
Liz is a Taurus. How dare
because
you?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, okay. I'm an Aries. If anyone was wondering, I'm
Mm,
sure none of you were wondering. It's pretty obvious from the way I contort myself on this show. I don't think contort was the word I was looking for, but
the
I'm
way
gonna
you
say it.
uncomfortably bend yourself on this show.
There's a word similar to contort that I still haven't remembered. Comport? No.
Yes,
Maybe.
it's
Yes.
comport.
Okay. All right. Do they eat black eyed peas for good luck?
Is that a thing people do?
Yes, they eat black-eyed peas for good luck in the new year and cabbage for money in the new year on New Year's Eve.
I know there are a lot of things like, oh, trying to get money and whatnot, and other various superstitions. I didn't know about black-eyed peas.
Yeah, which sucks because black-eyed peas taste bad.
I mean, that's why you eat them for good luck, because you're like sacrificing something.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, corn. This says corned beef as well. Hmm.
I love
Or
corned
is it?
beef.
No, I know you do. You once, John, when he was visiting once, we went to a restaurant and he asked to get a corned beef sandwich without the sandwich. He just wanted the corned beef,
Yep.
which I mean is his right as an American. But I was imagining that they were like, if he's not going to get the sandwich, we're just going to pile this high and get him a bunch of corned beef. But no, it was like a sandwich amount of corned beef, so I was a little disappointed.
Me too.
Uh,
Me too.
anyway, they eat something for good luck. Grass? Probably not.
I mean, there are people in their universe who eat grass, but they're not people.
They're tractors. The
They're
tractors do eat
tractors.
grass, huh? Well, maybe the tractors are rich. Uh,
In spirit.
there's food in their world, so they just eat the same bad tasting foods besides corned beef on New Year's Eve for the same good luck. All right, I think it's about time we do another New Cars Revolution,
All
which
right.
does, the more I've said it, make it sound like they're going to do a second revolution against someone
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
They're going to revolt against the new cars.
Oh yeah, the next gen cars. That's a good one for them. Lightning's going to forget all the character growth he had in Cars 3 and murder all the next gen cars so he can be on top again.
It's not murder if you declare war first.
It still definitely is. Uh
Good
it's
point.
just a combat murder.
Okay, so there's some sort of strange pact genocide of the new cars, and I gotta say, I feel like the new cars might still win.
Oh no, definitely. Like the whole thing is that they're physically superior to Lightning. He will not do a good job at this.
It just depends on who's the star of the film, I guess.
Yeah, that's very much the case. But for an actual one, a personal one for myself, I texted this to John a few days ago. Is I think I said several episodes ago when we did an entire episode on one Steve Hercel, the sentient hearse, is that I found out that there was a Cars diecast of him, and I said the words, "This is the first time I've ever wanted to collect the Cars diecast line," and so I asked for those for Christmas. And let me tell you, I did get 5 of them. They're sitting directly in front of me as I record this,
Hey,
almost as
Lucas,
inspiration. Yeah, go ahead.
what's their names, starting with the only one you know I care about?
Okay, well, starting with the only one I know you care about, it is Jambalaya Chimichanga, who uh, I gotta give my mom props because I gave her this ridiculous request for Christmas. And she got me a couple of the ones I requested, being Steve Hercel and Celine Del something, who is the car with her eyes in the wrong place in Cars 2. That's right, they made a diecast of her. But I did not ask for Jambalaya Chimichanga. She just was looking and was like, Lucas would like this one because it's named Jambalaya Chimichanga. And she's right. We've even talked about him. He's one of the demolition derby people from Thunder Hollow. We talked about him in that episode, and we're like, that's maybe the best name. No, we didn't say maybe. That's the best name in all of Cars, probably. So
Mm-hmm.
go, my mom.
Yeah.
But the other two I have are a set that Liz got me, which are the Pope Mobile and the Pope. And you can put the Pope in the Pope Mobile. So, I just wanted to tell you, the listeners, that it's getting less and less ironic, folks. I have a collection of them now, uh, but only the ones that we've talked about that just have horrifying implications. That's my rule. I don't want like Lightning McQueen. I want like Hans. Is that his name? The plane who's also a car.
It's either Hans or Franz.
I think it's Franz. Uh, but that's all to say. My new cars revolution is, I don't know, get a couple more of those, expand the collection of these just bonkers little car people.
Now, Lucas,
Yes, John.
what if I were to get you very specifically Lightning McQueen, but only like a paused freeze frame version of during the crash?
That if they made that, absolutely. I know that there are several variations on Lightning that they've made. One where I think he's just covered in birthday cake. Like, it's not like he has a birthday cake theme, it's that he's covered in what looks like cake batter and icing on the front half of him. So, like, that one, I don't know, that one's fine. And if they have one of him crashing, phenomenal. Of course, I want that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Do you do you have a Cars Revolution?
A Cars Revolution.
Yeah.
My Cars Revolution is to respark and rekindle the joy I once felt when watching any of these films or experiencing any amount of Cars.
I mean, deeply sad, but yeah, I get that.
Now, every time anyone says car or cars or anything to do with just like motor vehicles in any way, there's just a small part of my brain that's thinking, you've spent over 100 hours talking about Disney Pixar's Cars.
No, yeah, I'm right there. Quite frankly, I'm right there.
I'm.
But
I guess my New Year's New Cars Revolution for
thank you.
myself is to finally let the Stockholm syndrome creep in.
Yeah, yeah, or either that or the opposite. Just become at peace with it. You know, like
I will
no one's
accept that.
forcing us to do this. You know.
I will. I will accept that I have a captor, whether or not I love said captor.
Yeah, just again, we could stop this podcast if we felt like it, but we do it because we want to.
Lucas, that's not the mindset. The mindset is we cannot stop this podcast.
Well, now that they're going to be releasing new Cars material in 2022, yeah, that is sort of my mindset of no, we can't stop. We've got to make it to Untitled's Cars project on Disney Plus.
Real talk. When you see videos or anything, any sort of media, and it's someone like fan appreciating or talking about cars, does part of you get a little bit angry?
Part of I saw someone post like they did a single episode of their podcast about basically our like entire concept for our podcast, and I did get irrationally like, oh, you don't understand. You don't get it like I do, which
Yeah.
does feel very Stockholm syndrome-y. Like now that you don't understand him, you don't understand cars like we do.
You don't know what I've been through with cars.
You haven't earned this.
Yeah, like I'll see videos of people talking about it, and if they ever say anything, or if I see any comment or anything that's like, huh, I've been wondering if people would talk more about these weird parts of cars, like, how dare you?
You could. We are. Come listen to us.
There was a TikTok, and it was like, why aren't people talking about the terrible implications of cars? And I'm like,
That's all we
that's the
do.
whole thing. Just look for it. It's there. So
Good.
Lucas, I gotta read you a quote. And it's not
Sure.
really a quote. It's more of I'm reading a comment on a video that I watched that was specifically about cars.
Sure.
Bruh, people be hating on Cars too. That movie is sick.
You know what? Who am I to yuck this person's yum? Sure. It is. It's the most action packed of them, I'll say.
You
Uh,
say that, but we see people from a distance explode. Whereas in Cars 3, we see the main character be torn asunder
that's true.
in
I'm not
high
saying
definition.
not saying the others don't have action, but there are several chase sequences. Mater has a bomb on him as well as a rocket at some point. Yeah,
A lot of the
I
racers just explode.
yeah, and there are still race scenes that are
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't remember them. But
Medium octane.
I was talking with my brother, like I did a thing the other day where you could like rank all of the Pixar movies. Like it would say like, do you like Ratatouille or Up more? And you would choose, and you would do that 100,000 times, and it would tell you your exact ranking without you having to rank them personally. And Cars 2 was, of course, the bottom one for me. Either that or A Bug's Life. I don't like A Bug's Life very much.
Do you not like A Bug's Life?
It's not very fun
He
for me. I
becomes a
don't know.
beautiful butterfly.
That part is funny. Heimlich is a good little caterpillar man. Is that
Yeah.
his name? Liz, is the character's name Heimlich in
I
Bug's
think it's
Life?
Heinrich.
Yeah. Okay. She says yeah, and I trust Liz implicitly. But anyway, I sent Liz sent that to my brother in a group chat we have with our D&D group, and he when we were meeting up for like a New Year's Zoom, he was like, "Lucas, what's up with this? All the Cars movies are low." And I'm like, "Yeah, they're bad movies." He was like, "Well, they're not bad movies," and I had to have a moment of like, "Yeah, they're not," but I had just watched Soul, which is like a deeply introspective love letter to what it means to be human, and I then had to think about Cars 2, and it made me upset.
And you can always pull a you try talking about these movies for 100 hours and then say they're not bad.
And like, I will, when I take a step back, Cars and Cars 3 are pretty good movies. Like, they are. Like, compared to other
Agreed.
Pixar movies, I would not put them that high, and I did not. They were middle of the pack. And I don't hate these movies. Sometimes they make me very angry. I'll say that.
Well, the more you think about certain things, the more angry you just have to be about them.
Yeah, or why would we talk about them for 100 hours? We've been on this for a while. Uh we like doing this podcast. I want to make it absolutely clear.
Whether or not that is due to the movies or just enjoying each other talking, that's up to you to pretend.
Yeah, we like it because we get to talk nonsense with each other, and you guys interact with us, and it's fun, and we get to make something. It's not because the movies.
All right. So we've got our new Cars Revolutions. Do we want to go for more, or do we want to talk about strange traditions for New Year's in our world and theirs?
I did want to talk about the New Year's kiss. I don't know that there will be much to talk about with that because I don't know. I think they can kiss each other.
They can kiss each other. They shouldn't, but they can.
They absolutely should not. Their mouths are just massive.
Uh,
A bird could fly in there. Uh,
a bird probably has flown in there. Okay, so let's talk about. There's the New Year's kiss.
yeah.
There's a famous kiss. I don't know if it was New Year's, but I'm pretty sure it was Times Square.
Are you talking about the sailor and the nurse?
Yeah, the sailor and the nurse.
No, that was when World War II ended.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The whole point of that is, do you think people like, if they were to kiss in this universe, try to like scoop?
Oh, like dip them, like
Yeah,
he did with that. You know? No. How could they? Mater, maybe, because he's got a hook.
but imagine
Two pities, maybe,
two
because they've
pitties.
got. That is the official term used. We call them forklifts, but Disney Pixar usually calls them pities.
Okay, but is that not only when they are operating a pit stop?
No, they're just called pities.
Why are they called pitties?
I don't know, man, but that's what they call them.
Like, okay, so there's a dog called a pitty.
Yeah, it's a pit bull, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I
All
don't
I'm
know.
seeing is pit bulls, so yeah.
I don't know. It's just like a nickname for them.
American Pit Bull Terrier. All right, so are they implying
No,
that all forklifts are somewhat more like dogs?
no, but they are reducing them to the main job they're known for, and I don't know that that's much. I mean, it's better, but not that much better.
How is that the main job they're known for? They do everything.
Well, yes, but also, racing is the most important thing in the universe in this universe.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
yeah. I think a pity could maybe dip another pity.
Uh,
I don't like saying it. A forklift could dip another forklift.
all
Especially
right.
now that we've talked about the maybe not okay implications of it. Yeah, a forklift could maybe dip another forklift.
So a forklift can dip another forklift. Uh, one of them was a nurse, one of them was a sailor. So, of course, they were both forklifts because, of course.
How could you do either of those things if you weren't?
Okay. So, yeah, that picture exists and it's just like that. Um, Now, let's talk about superstitions.
Sure.
All
What
right,
are
New
New
Year's.
Year's
What do you
superstitions?
do?
You cheers, you midnight kiss, you count down, you eat the gross food. I don't know. What are you going for?
I feel like I don't know if this might be just Japan.
Well, we could talk about it either way.
I'm gonna see if this is the right holiday. I think it is, but I'm gonna check. Yep, it's Setsubun, and it's they throw peanuts.
Okay. But it is for the calendar new year.
Not the calendar New Year, but the it's it's strange. I think their New Year is different than our New Year.
Yeah, I know that there are some places that do that.
It's the lunar calendar, the
Oh,
Japanese
cool.
lunar calendar, and it's the 3rd or 4th of February.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Why not? They throw peanuts
Mm-hmm.
at.
Uh, demons
Okay, okay, okay. Phenomenal.
or ogres, depending on how you call that word. They're
Now,
oni.
sure. Now, let's pretend that maybe I'm not sure where the oni is. And do I just throw them up? Do I throw them just in front of me? Do I throw them in a specific area?
Well, if you are a student in Japanese class in America, you throw them
In
at each other.
in small town in Kentucky.
You
You're
throw
just
them at each other, and you hopefully remember not to leave any of the residue or peanuts anywhere on your person,
yeah,
because
that's
one of the other students that will be in that classroom at some point is in fact deathly allergic to peanuts.
seems like maybe just don't do it.
And to that I say, I'm sorry, Ben.
Oh yeah, I know, Ben.
Yep,
I feel like if you've got a peanut allergic, I'm getting caught up in this. Maybe just don't do the peanut tradition.
he had something else to do that day.
Seems weirdly risky. For
Like they sent out things like, hey, we're gonna do this if everyone isn't allergic, and then he's like, I'm allergic, but I'm gonna be somewhere else that day, so it's fine.
okay,
uh,
sure,
all right,
whatever.
so the idea is you're chasing away the oni that are around you, like in your house and whatnot.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing anything that is bad is where you throw them, or anywhere you're
Sure.
afraid a demon would hide.
Okay, sure.
All right.
So,
And
d-
since throwing food, oh, I'm just going to read this, the Japanese-journey.com, since throwing food is considered wasteful, peanuts are often thrown as a replacement. What? Peanuts are also thrown as a replacement since they have a shell? Okay. Yeah.
so do you? Is it just like usually you? The tradition is throw food, but it's almost always peanuts because they have shells.
I think, okay, normally it's soybeans,
Weird.
but, well, not normally. It's soybeans, but you throw peanuts because it's wasteful.
Got it.
So, like, it's more common, I guess, to throw peanuts, even though it's supposed to be soybeans.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not just do soybeans in your class? I'm getting in the weeds. Uh,
Because that's wasteful.
you got me there. Uh,
Oh, it's a Santa situation.
okay. Now I was just about to move on a little bit, but no, you got to tell me how it's a Santa situation.
One of your parents dresses up as a demon,
Yes,
and you pelt your parent with peanuts or beans.
I would.
Okay.
If it's a Santa situation to the level of like you reveal at some point, like, "Hey, I know it's fine," I would never do that because I love my parents, but getting to just chuck peanuts at them dressed as a demon, I would be doing that to this day if I could.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently it's just a mask, but still, you throw
Yeah,
peanuts at your parent because they're wearing a demon mask.
I would be like, "Hey, stop it." How do the cars throw peanuts? No, we've brought it up. We can't just talk about it and not relate it to cars. We do that too often. How do the cars throw peanuts at a person dressed like a demon? How do they dress up like a demon?
All right. So here's what you do at Logan's: is you get the peanuts, they're in a bucket, and then
Yes,
you eat the peanuts, and you
sure.
used to just drop the peanut shell wherever you want. Sometimes on
Yes.
yourself, a lot of times on the floor. Sometimes if you're nice on a plate. Now you're just supposed to not have peanuts because pandemic.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they'd have very large buckets, and then they would just like place one tire on top of it and make that tire spin and just destroy anything in front of them with peanuts.
That's very good. I'm going to throw out something that I know factually you won't like, but I think
They
might be accurate.
please don't say they spit them.
I think they put them in their mouth and they spit them at him, bud. And I know
Oh.
you hate that, but I think that may be what happens.
But they could just like they could just hit them. They could just hit the box of peanuts, and then that'll push it.
Yeah, but that's not really akin to throwing. And I think that's about.
I don't think spitting them is akin to throwing.
I think it's more akin to throwing than the thing you described.
The first thing is very much like throwing.
Okay, well, we can say it's your thing, but I'm going to privately believe that they spit the peanuts at them. Uh, I know, bud. Okay, we've talked about that now.
All right,
So,
so there's the peanuts. There's do we think that the mask is a thing that translates? Do we think that there are like specific Oni masks in Japan in cars?
I want there to be. That's for sure. But how would those fit? Would they just cover their windshield? How would they put them on?
I don't know. Have we seen masks in cars?
I mean, if we have, why would I remember that? Uh, does Finn McMissile get like a scuba mask when he goes underwater?
He gets a mouthpiece.
Yeah, why would he need a mask? He's got. Well, we've seen a helmet because Mater has to wear a space helmet to go
We've
to
seen Mater
space.
wear a doctor mask.
Okay, there we go. So we've seen lots of things on heads and faces. So, I don't know, just a comically oversized Oni mask, I guess.
My issue is strictly with the fact that we've seen things that cover either the whole head or just the mouth, and I'm having a hard time visualizing a mask that would cover the mouth and the eyes at the same time.
I think we may just have to forgo that.
One or the
Because,
other.
yeah, I think probably just like a masquerade style mask or like a Robin the Boy Wonder style mask that just covers the eyes.
I believe those are domino masks.
Sure, that sounds right to me.
All right. So, Robin the Boy Wonder demon mask.
Hey, if you had said, "Hey, do you think you're going to say Robin the Boy Wonder Demon Mask today on your podcast?" I would say that's pretty specific. So I think you're a time traveler, and I think yes. But if you hadn't asked me, I would have said no.
I feel like your answer would be I feel like you're a time traveler, and because you've asked me that, I'm going to say no. And the answer is no. And even if I'm supposed to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, but you said it, you know?
True.
So I would have just said we're not doing the podcast this week.
Tell me about time travel.
Okay, so I want to get to what we have discussed beforehand as maybe our biggest new cars revolution of the year. And that is, so have y'all seen this Ratatouille musical stuff?
Because I haven't.
John had not. But if you haven't, someone on TikTok just sort of, I guess as a joke, was like, hey, here's a song that I think would be funny if they made a Ratatouille musical. And then they sang it. And people were like, oh, that's fun. What if they did this song also in it? Or I'm going to cover this song and change some lyrics. And basically, people almost accidentally for a while and then very much on purpose crowdsourced a Ratatouille musical on TikTok, which, gosh, I love human beings because that's a wonderful thing. But then Lowe's hardware store decided to sponsor for charity a fully staged and filmed rendition of it, which I believe, if I've looked at this correctly, is available on the day this comes out, the 4th, until 7 p.m. So if you want to buy a virtual ticket to see the Ratusical, sorry, I've pronounced it incorrectly, you can do so, but only until 7 p.m. on the day this comes out.
Lucas, Titus Burgess and Adam Lambert are both in this.
No, it's like professional, like Broadway people. It's not just some dumb thing Lowe's is doing. They're doing it up right.
Lucas, I haven't heard of most Broadway people.
You've heard of those two.
I know those two.
Yeah.
I know those two.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it yet. I plan on seeing it, and I don't know. It seems dumb and fun and like a good way to support I don't know, people making fan created stuff.
I think
Which,
it's just called Ratatouille the TikTok musical.
no, it's called that, but people are lovingly referring to it as the Ratusical.
The Ratusical.
Yes.
Okay.
But I will say I have seen like maybe one or two songs from it because I am not on TikTok. Because I'm an old man. I assume, John, you are also not on TikTok.
My wife and I occasionally will look at a few at night when we're going to bed.
Yeah, that's basically my involvement with TikTok as well. But how do we get this to happen but for cars?
Okay, so
Rephrased as a new cars revolution, let's make this happen for cars. But for
let's make this
discussion,
happen for cars.
how?
So we're gonna need our loving fans to become very famous on TikTok if they aren't already, which
I
I'm sure they
assume
are.
I assume half of you are famous on TikTok.
Hmm.
So
So we get our very famous fans to just start creating content for the cars, the Forzical,
Carsukical.
Carsukical.
Yeah, if you will. You probably shouldn't. But yeah, I think the biggest issue we're going to run into is teens on TikTok are going to be like, "Hey, you're just trying to ride the coattails of the Ratusical," which accurate, 110% what we slash you through us are wanting to do.
In
But how do
fact,
we?
that's our like statement.
Yeah,
Our whole thing is, hey, we're gonna try and do it, but with cars.
but how do we convince teens that either A, no, we're not doing that, or B, we are doing that, but it's okay and you should like it anyway?
See, the biggest problem with anything like this is that nobody wants to do it again. Nobody likes to do something the
Yeah.
second time. So if we can convince the entire world, every person on TikTok, that doing something a second time is actually cool,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be really hard to do given
Yes.
that we're trying to get it happen with Cars, and Cars 2 is famously the worst of the three. So we're
We're
going to
we're
have to get them to ignore that.
yeah, we're not trying to make a sequel musical. We're trying to retell the original story of Cars. Like Ratatouille, the TikTok musical, is not a sequel. It is a musical version of the film Ratatouille.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to add something extra.
Okay.
We're going to show how Doc dies.
Okay. That
So that
would
we can
be.
get the heat going. Like, oh, it's Cars, but it's a musical and you see Doc die.
Yeah, and I mean that would be a really good character moment for Lightning. Probably a really lovely, deeply sad song, either sung from Doc to Lightning or Lightning about Doc, uh, either right before or after his death. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
we could do that. You are right, and I like it.
Now, here's a thing. They're all cars.
Yes,
Are we gonna do this?
gotta give him roller skates, Johnny.
Are we gonna do some roller skates? Okay, we're doing some roller skates.
I mean,
Now,
if Starlight Express can do it, so can we. And I think also maybe some characters in the Little Mermaid musical were also on roller skates because they were fish.
all right. Now, can we get Melissa Villaseñor to be good old Lightning McQueen?
Real quick, tell me who that is.
She is an SNL personality. She's an actress, and she does uh, a really funny impression of
Yes,
Owen
of Owen
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, okay. If we can, that'd be good. I'll say that much.
Here's the thing. I'm not asking if we can get Owen Wilson. And that is not because I don't think we could if we could get Melissa Villaseñor. I'm just saying that whether or not we can, I would rather get Melissa Villaseñor.
That's fair. Let me throw out a name to you. Maybe a name of another Broadway personality that you'll recognize. Maybe not. Jeremy Jordan?
I love me some Jeremy Jordan.
I I think Jeremy Jordan could play cocky real well.
Jeremy Jordan could be Lightning McQueen.
That's what I'm saying, bud. And listen, I am gonna run out of Broadway personalities that I can name offhand very quickly.
Brendan Urie now.
Yeah, that's true. Christian Borle as Chick Hicks. I
Oh
just know
no.
that.
Nope. You know who got to be Chick Hicks?
It's that fun.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I could see MPH doing Chick Hicks. Liz, who's an aging male Broadway star? Ooh, Andre DeShields. Yes. Andre DeShields as Doc Hudson. He's in Hadestown. He's also in. Who's he in the Ratusical? The critic? Oh, he's the food critic, and he's already done one of these. Phenomenal. He's
Okay, we
also
got to
got
make doing something again really cool.
really cool. But he's got just like a really interesting voice, I'll say, that would work very well for like the gruffness of Doc Hudson.
Okay.
And that's all we're going to cast because I've run out. I there are other ones I could name, but like they wouldn't fit, and I would just be playing the game of how many people who have been on Broadway can Lucas name, and I don't want to do that.
I think we've named all of the ones I can.
Okay, so yeah, we want to get the Kersusical going. Hit us
Wait.
up if you need ideas, John.
Adele
go ahead.
Dazeem.
We could get Adina. Who would Adina play?
Elsa.
Now, okay.
She'd be Sally Carrera for sure.
Yeah, there are only a few important female characters in Cars, unfortunately. So.
All right. So we've got Adina Menzel. We've got Adele Dazeem. That's two people playing Sally Carrera.
And real quick, I know I went to theater school with some people who listen to this podcast. Let me be absolutely clear. I do 100% want you to send me your fan casts for Cars the Susical. Nope, Cars the Musical, the Kersusical. And even if I didn't specifically go to theater school with you, I do want you to do that.
And I want all of the content, everything. I want you to write the songs.
Yes.
I want your renditions of the songs that are already in the film that are somehow altered to be more Cars musical-esque. I want just posters. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you want to reach out and be like, hey, what direction do you think we should go in? We'll say, absolutely not. We're not going to produce any of this. This is you. We want to be the spark that ignites the flame. And a spark only is needed at the beginning, okay? We're done after this.
Yes,
but we will.
Lucas is absolutely done after this. I will involve myself however I am allowed.
Yeah, obviously, if this happens, which it's not going to, but if it did, obviously I would want to be involved. Either way, though, we will be taking all of the credit.
Mm-hmm. And Lucas and I both will be playing King.
Oh. Strip Weathers, the king?
Yep, Strip Weathers the king. We will both be him.
Yeah, there we go.
Of course, I will be the spoiler because I cannot roller skate.
John, in what universe do you think I can roller skate?
And even better, with me on your back.
Well, like, at least make us, like, I don't know, someone who doesn't have to be in the intense race scenes.
Oh no, we're doing this.
Okay, man, we'll die, but
we will learn to roller skate for this production.
I would, in fact, learn to roller skate for this if it happened, which it won't. That's the end of the podcast, probably. Thank you for listening. Welcome to 2021 with us. It's been somehow our first full calendar year of doing this podcast, and I don't know, even saying that's pretty weird. So thank you for being here with us for it. We super duper appreciate all the support and listening y'all have done. And to be 100% clear, I was being 100% serious about wanting to hear fan casts, ideas, anything you have for Cars the Musical or the Kersusical, if you will. You can send those in either to our email, which is thekachat@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at thekachat, or I don't know. Again, if you're a person I know personally in life, you can just text me. But if you want to tweet at us, I'll probably retweet it from the Kachat's official Twitter. And that's not that prestigious, but I don't know, it could be fun. John, say something.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell anyone and everyone you think might be the least bit interested in this. Happy New Year. And remember to float like a Cadillac.
And
And
John, well, we pass it back. Jesus,
and
sting like a beamer. Starting the new year off bad.